What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. Appreciate everyone that watches our content and videos. The Sooners have just fallen to the Jayhawks at Allen Fieldhouse, 78-66 to drop to 1-2 in Big 12 play. I don't think it's a surprise that they lost, but really to get kind of run out of the gym in the second half was a disappointment, guys.
I wouldn't say run out of the gym personally, but they lost, and it was convincingly. I mean, double digits. Never really could get back into the game after the first 5 minutes of the second half. And OU's not going to get back into the game very much when your best player, leading scorer, has 2 points in the second half. Another game where really McCollum didn't shoot the ball very well, 1 of 5 from 3. That's kind of been a thing. He's been under 30%, I think, for the last 3 games. Not shooting it great. As a team, they shot 30% from 3. Not that great. Hunter, before the game, you said have to have bench points. They got 5. They got 5 from the whole bench. Well, take that back. Norweather came in and got 6, so there's 11. But their other top 3 guys did nothing. Hughley 3, Soares 2, and Darthard another game with 0 points. And the turnovers mounted. McCollum had 6 turnovers, guys. It can't happen. You can't have one player have 6 turnovers. You're not going to win. And I understand second half McCollum didn't shoot the ball that much. Maybe he should, though. I mean, you got to assert yourself. If you're not shooting from 3, you're going to have to assert yourself down low. Uzan again proved, I think he's the most valuable and best player on this team right now.
Yeah, Los Uzan had another great game.
Yep.
Really is starting to get in the rhythm, and this is the time to do it because to start the season in non-con, he was struggling at times, and now he's looked really, really good for the past 5 or so games, 3 of those being Big 12 games. And yeah, you said it, the bench. Absolutely. It's unacceptable. John Hughley getting into foul trouble, kind of the Phog Allen effect, some questionable calls, some of them, to say the least, to start it, get them into foul trouble. Norweather, I mean, pretty good off the bench.
Yeah, he did good.
For what he has been. He's earlier in the season when he came in, he struggled at times. And, I mean, I'm not disappointed with that at all, the performance that he gave the Sooners today. You just got to be able to score off the bench. Latrey Darthard, well, where has he been other than Iowa State game? This is, I mean, right. Every game has been a disappointment, I would say, other than that Iowa State game for him.
Hey, if we're blaming this loss on the bench, we got major issues. Otega away has been pitiful about the last month of basketball.
He had a really good first half today.
And
really
he's
good
been bad.
Really good first half.
Owe had a really good, 5-6 minute stretch.
Yeah, there was a stretch. Okay, but
after that kind of disappeared again for a bit.
The reason this team lost today wasn't because of a lack of a bench. Kansas had 0 bench. The fact of the matter is OU got beat on the glass on the offensive boards. It killed them. They got second chance points. Furthermore, bad defense in a lot of areas.
OU actually out-rebounded Kansas.
I know they out-rebounded, Hunter. I already said that earlier in the group chat. I'm talking about offensive glass. They got a lot of second chance points, okay? OU was good in some other areas, but the defense wasn't very good across the board. There were lazy closeouts. And frankly, this OU team didn't play with toughness today in the second half. Porter Moser, before the game, said, you got to win games in the Big 12 with grit, with toughness. This team didn't prove to be very tough today, guys.
Which is weird because the start of the second half, it looked like, okay, they're going to duke this one out. They're going to go shot for shot to the buzzer. And then all of a sudden it just stopped and let them get a big run. And you just can't do that against a good team like Kansas.
Well, Hunter Dickinson happened. They had no answer for him, period.
Didn't try to shift it off either.
What?
I thought maybe OU would go to a zone at some point. Never happened.
No, and you didn't want him to. You said don't double him, let him keep getting his points, and that's what they did. And he ate their lunch. Dickinson ate their lunch, period. And
he wasn't the only one.
Well, him
McCullough and Adams almost had triple doubles. So,
yeah, but Godwin, other than the first maybe 5 minutes, didn't do a whole lot. I mean, the bigs for Oklahoma didn't do a whole lot today.
No, and maybe the silver lining is they got a guy who can come in and do pick and pop. Northweather can maybe provide some minutes off the bench. I like the pick and pop aspect he brings because they don't really have that at all. I'll agree with you. Uzan is the best player on this team. And I don't know if they're going to make a switch, but always got to figure some things out. And you might have to go with another guy like Cooper off the bench because, frankly, Darthard has given him nothing in 2 games.
He's given him defense, really good defense.
Absolutely nothing.
Well, he's giving him defense.
Let's look at what goes forward, guys. This team's got a home and an away game. They got West Virginia at home on Wednesday night. That should be, in my opinion, a walk in the park. That's a game you got to win easily. And then you got to try to still win at Cincy because the following week you host Texas and Texas Tech, a chance for OU to at least win 3 or 4 and get back to 500 in the conference, which is a must.
Yeah, but Jeremy, I see what you're saying, and I said the same thing. Maybe you can win some games here. But Texas and Tech at home are not easy games either. They're both playing really good basketball. There is no offense. Jeremy, I see you bouncing back and forth, shaking your head. Big 12, dude, there's no night off. You can't count any game as a win. I'm sorry, you can't. You got to play well, period. Yeah, and this team right here, Oklahoma, is not going to get their expectations they want. I'm not saying that everybody else wants because they were picked dead last in the Big 12. But they're not going to get what they want unless McCollum and Owe start playing great basketball.
Yeah, like you said, there's no nights off in the Big 12. But these next 4 games, with the way you had 2 road games this week, you go 0-2, not the end of the world. You really need to win these next 4. Like, really, really need to win these 4. These are winnable games. Get you back into the swing of things. You cannot lose to West Virginia Wednesday night. A 3-game skid in the Big 12. And you're in a very, very bad place at that point. It's every game's going to be tough. And Cincinnati's a really, really good team. But that's one you need to go win that road game. Show that you're one of the better teams in the Big 12 with the win there.
Look, this is a team in March that can do some damage. They got good guard play. I mean, McCollum definitely wasn't his best today. I think he was just – I think McCollum was okay. I think he ended up with 17, 5, and 4 or something. He was okay today. He wasn't great. He missed some wide open looks. He's got to make those. But Uzan and McCollum, you get into March, they can do some damage. The concern is, again, this is an OU team, and I'm just waving a flag here, a red flag here, that seem to have digressed. Now, I understand the competition has been elite.
That's a bad take.
Let me finish.
Way too early.
Let me finish. What I was going to say is, this is not a top 10 team in America. I think they're a top 20 team. I think the fact that they got ranked, moved all the way up to 9, probably didn't do him any favors. Owe has gotten worse. He's hit a slump. People may be figuring him out. I don't know. But
Jeremy,
what's got to change is I don't think they're a top 10 team. I think they're a top 20 team. That's all I'm saying.
Jeremy, people got to realize Owe didn't play the whole year last year. He played second half of the season. He's still very, very young and raw. He's going to have bad games, especially on the road. I think you're kidding yourself if you don't think that's going to happen.
You're kidding yourself if you don't think McCollum is going to have struggles.
McCollum did play good today, first half, but he basically second half didn't do anything.
Turnovers was the main issue.
And my big thing is the 6 turnovers. That's back-to-back games now with 5 or 6 turnovers. That can't happen because we're talking about OU cutting the turnovers on the road. You got to cut them down. Other than McCollum, they did, I would say, pretty decently second half. Uzan has the ball in his hands most of the game and does very well on limiting his turnovers. Now here's the thing, Jeremy, it's way too early to say what you said about this team's digressed. Listen, you know why they were ranked 9? Because the whole top 6 lost last week and this week again. Basketball, dude. You go on the road in any conference, the top 3 conferences, it's hard to win. Look at this week. The top 6 have already lost.
Yeah. And OU had a good non-conference schedule and went 12-1. Like, it's way too early. This is a Kansas loss that, I picked Kansas to win by 7 in our pregame video today. Was off a little bit there. Anyhow, regardless, this team, those are games that you're not going to win in the Big 12. It's a gauntlet of a schedule. Road games, you can't. I think there was a stat that said 30% win percentage of games on the road in the Big 12 right now.
Yeah.
That's very, very small margin when you're looking at the teams there. Kansas lost at UCF this week, Houston at Iowa State. All these teams are losing on the road. Calm down on this team's digressed. Now, if they go 2-2, 1-3 over the next 4 games, maybe that's the case. But let them get farther into the Big 12 schedule before you say that.
Agree. And Hunter, if Kansas would have been 3 games, if they would have played 2 road games, now they could very well be 1-2 because they almost lost TCU. So you can't overreact in the Big 12. And the other thing is this: yes, OU's got to be better in certain areas, but you cannot sit here and tell me that this team is going through what they went through the last 2 years. I don't believe it. I don't believe it one bit. And I want to know your opinion, guys. I think this team's going to be about 5th or 6th in the Big 12, and I think that's really good for them.
I think top 6 would be good. Now, what I will say is OU about beat Kansas last year, I think, on the road.
They lost by 4 2 years ago and 2 last year, so yes.
So I'm just saying.
You can't compare.
Listen, my point is
I'm
this.
Not doing this.
My point is I'm not – this team that OU has is by far better than the last 2 teams that imported Moser. Fact. But it's a fact. If you're not disappointed that a top 10 OU team was not even in 2 games on the road, that's my problem. They were not even in the game in the second half.
Okay.
That's my issue.
It's the 2 first games, road games of Big 12.
I get you. But
it was later in the season last year when they played Kansas, I believe, and the year before. It was an earlier game.
I thought OU would be in those games.
Hey, Jeremy, answer this question. How many guys on this OU roster played Big 12 play?
Not many, Jay.
Oh,
3.
Okay.
That really played 3.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey,
Oweh and Godwin. That's it.
It's going to take some time.
We'll see. It will take some time. We'll see what happens, but they got it off until Wednesday. Wednesday, I think they need to come drum West Virginia.
Got to win Wednesday.
And then go steal one on the road. We'll see what this week holds. I think they're going to probably be 16th ranked or so as the rankings come out, 15, 16, something like that. But OU loses today in Lawrence. Not a shock. They lose 78-66 in Lawrence. Last possible probable game at Lawrence and maybe a very long time, maybe ever. But there you have it. Thanks for watching our channel. Appreciate you subscribing. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.